this crude story forward then with Paul Hickin, the Associate Director for Oil at S&P Global Platts. Paul, thanks so much for joining in. Good afternoon to you from London. This is, of course, a very important developing story, the way Brent prices have been moving, and more importantly, the volatility with which, Paul, they've been moving. 6 and 7% of an intraday move is something that we've witnessed in the week gone by. Do you believe that the oil market, and of course I'll come to you to talk about the factors as well that's really causing this sort of volatility in the markets, but do you believe that the oil markets are perhaps overreacting to any sort of news flow that's coming in, whether it's from the United States, whether it's from Saudi Arabia and the OPEC?
I think that's right. I think there's been a loss of fundamentals in a way, the market. You had an overreaction on the one side when we saw that Iran sanctions were coming in and there would be zero tolerance. The US was talking about zero tolerance against Iran, and it sort of frightened the market a little bit. And now we're seeing these waves come in, key producers, to key consumers, India and China, and that has meant an unwinding out position. Add to the fact that you've got a lot of Iran ships going under the radar, off grid, and the market doesn't really know how many Iranian ships can go and sell its crude elsewhere. That's been another factor. We've seen the market come down in terms of supply from Iran, but not in the same way as we thought early in the year, and that's been a definite unraveling in the market. You've also got the factors that the supply coming in. The three big producers, US, Saudi Arabia and Russia, are all at record highs. US have got 11.7 million barrels a day, and heading up over 12 million barrels a day next year. You've got Saudi Arabia showing that they can produce at record highs at 10.7 million barrels a day, and you've got Russia as well at 11.5 million barrels a day. So all these coming together has made the market rethink the question of shortfalls in the market, and there's been a sort of readjustment, a rethink, and now we're kind of looking at where the market is coming to balance. But at the same time, the market has overreacted on the downside as well.
So, Paul, at this point of time, how are you seeing the entire oil market from a demand-supply scenario? Like you mentioned, it's 10 and 11 million barrels per day record production from the three big players. But at the same time, there are concerns that demand is not keeping pace with supply. So, do you think that officially the oil markets could be said to be once again in that glut situation what we were in 2015 and 2016?
Well, I was having a chat with the executive director of the IEA last week in Cape Town, and he was telling me that he doesn't see that the oil market's out of the woods in terms of a supply shortfall. And I know he's talking from a consuming country's perspective, but it just goes to show that the other side saying that it's going to be a glut coming in at the moment is a little bit premature as well. You've got demand slightly softening. So it's a real question of whether OPEC and Russia in the December meeting, whether they feel that they need to take some steam still out of the market, or whether they feel it's at kind of a balanced level. From the data we're seeing, we're talking about the 5-year average again, which is what the OPEC measures to look at stock levels, and that is kind of at the sort of equilibrium at the moment. So it may be feel that OPEC may be talking up the market a little bit, but whether they actually deliver on a significant cut, it really depends from now till then how the Iran story plays out.
So what's the possibility, next month when the OPEC and non-OPEC members meet, what's the possibility essentially of them once again bringing back those talks of the output cut? I think the recent number that was going around was 1.2 million barrels per day. Do you think that oil cut rhetoric will come back again? Production cut rhetoric will come back again?
I think so. I think you've got to say that they're not just talking about the market now. I know that before we had the US administration kind of warning against OPEC making further cuts and really talking up the market, and that actually happened with Saudi Arabia and Russia producing at record highs. But you've seen over the past 2 years the way OPEC and Russia have really aligned over managing the market. It's unprecedented, and it's looking like it will continue, and as a result you're probably going to see some further cuts in the market if the situation continues.
Okay. In fact, interestingly, we did have Saudi, the energy minister, telling us, telling reports that the demand for December has already been lower by 500,000 barrels per day. So, do you believe that the concerns about a slowdown in global economy, and we already have the IEA, cut their demand forecast for I think the fourth consecutive month. So do you believe that we are going to be looking at a scenario where once again, on account of a slowing global economy and slowing global growth, once again demand for oil is going to be cut significantly?
Well, there's two factors here. You've got, generally speaking, in the first quarter of next year, that demand does soften, and that's likely to be the case. But at the same time, you've got the fact that the oil prices lowering at the moment means that it's actually going to help demand. And the demand destruction we were seeing at probably $80 a barrel plus back in early October, it's not quite there at the higher end of $60 a barrel in early 70s. So it's really a question of, can OPEC and Russia take prices through the eye of the needle? That's $70 to $80 range. At Platts Analytics, we see it at the lower end of that $70 to $80 range at the moment. It's at the lower end, and there are the risks from the stock levels, increased stock levels, how much extra supply in the market that could test those sort of $65 a barrel range again. But at the same time, it really question is OPEC and Russia, can they get back on that horse in terms of making severe cuts? Russia wasn't keen the last time, and it would take. They're coalescing around a kind of a cut deal. They tested the waters by having those 1 million or 1.4 million barrels a day cuts being put down at the market to test the limits of that. The market hasn't really reacted at the moment, and it's still on a weak trend. And OPEC would probably be concerned about that as well. So and you've also had the UAE, the OPEC president, Suhail al-Mansouri, also to react against the Trump tweets and say that market balancing is really their focus. And it really does suggest that they do mean business on this. And don't forget, even if they were to cut in December, they're not averse to cutting in January, February. They've had many extraordinary meetings. They've met at regular intervals throughout the year. And also, the question is, at this December meeting, then we talk about a market management strategy for the longer term, not just in terms of what happened now. They're trying to institute a framework that helps them go forward, and that hopefully will give them the flexibility to bring cuts in further down the line if it doesn't happen in December.
Excellent. So 3 weeks is what we'll have to wait for any sort of conclusion, any sort of meeting between the OPEC and non-OPEC members. On that note, thanks so much then, Paul, for joining in. It was an excellent perspective you gave us, especially at a time when there's so much volatility in crude prices. And interestingly, Paul, not just in crude, but even in natural gas prices, 18% of an uptick one day, 18% of a drop the next day. I mean, I really believe that crude markets are certainly overreacting to any sort of political statements being made from any part of the world. Thanks so much, Paul, once again. But that was, of course, all about crude and the discourse currently underway. Let's also talk about